I mean, Red Bull has done it.
But the championship can only be won by one, and it's going Dutch in 2021.
Mercedes, they've also done it.
Lewis Hamilton wins the Turkish Grand Prix and is a 7-time champion of the world.
And surely, over the years that Haas has been in the sport, since 2016, surely they must have amassed a couple accolades, a couple silverwares, a couple somethings. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but they really haven't done anything. And by anything, I mean they haven't done anything good. Only the bad. Well, I don't think Haas are going to contest for wins in the championship in the near future. But you know who is? Lando Norris, Max Verstappen. They're going at it like ham. Like and subscribe if you want to see a championship battle. Otherwise, it will not happen. I think it's time for Haas to actually do a thing. For so long, they've been so bad. And, I mean, yes, other teams have also been bad for so long. They either get better, or they're in the sport for a couple of seasons and then hit the dash. But even if they are in the sport for a couple of seasons, surely in those couple of seasons that they're in the sport, you get lucky at least once or twice. You stand on the podium. You get a win. I mean, Pastor Maldonado? Win? After many hours of studying, I have come to the executive decision that it was 100% skillful. AlphaTauri, RB, Toro Rosso, they have 2 wins to their name. Purely luck. None of that was, oh yeah, we have the best car. No, pure luck. But Haas, never. I think it's time they actually started to cook up. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be the next Red Bull. I'm not saying they're going to be the next Mercedes. I'm not saying they're going to be the next Michael Schumacher. I'm not saying that they're going to be that great. But by cook up, I mean not finish last in the Constructors' Championship every year, and not finished last and second to last every single race. Logan Sargent kind of has been their saving grace for the last 2 years. But you get what I'm trying to say. Genuinely, from their entire existence since 2016, they have literally done nothing to progress or improve or whatsoever. It seems like they've been a stalemate, and not a stalemate like, say, Mercedes were at the top of the field for however many seasons. I mean, a stalemate at the bottom of the field. Every single year, the car seemed to be either just awful or even more awful than the year before. And on occasions, when they were slightly cooking, their drivers were always incompetent. 2018, okay, fair enough. They might have slightly cooked. Gordon Ramsay might have been a tad happy. But at the same time, their drivers were absolutely shocking. You had Roman Grosjean in that season, what was he doing? Crashing on the safety car conditions and blaming a car that was like 75 meters behind him for the incident.
I think Ericsson hit us.
And then Kevin Magnussen, who had an equally ugly mouth to the equally ugly race style that he possesses. By that, oh, you can't get past because my car's in the way. Even though there's just, I'm going to sort of... After I relearned how to speak English again, we got back on track. But it wasn't always just a counterbalance of good car, bad drivers. There were bad car, bad drivers. 2021 springs to mind. Awful car, awful drivers. Every single year was awful upon even worse. Years where you thought you couldn't get any worse. It got worse. And it's not like each season you could pick out or point at a certain issue and be like, yeah, we probably got to fix that. Mercedes, you probably have to fix your car because at the moment it's looking like a Fiat Punto and not the amazing race car that it's meant to be or once was. Aston Martin, they obviously have their certain issues. But on the side of Haas, it was literally everything that was the issue. The mechanics, they didn't know how to fit tyres on their car, and on occasions the cars went out on track with tyres that were falling off. The car was always bad, the drivers were always bad, and the team principal Gunther Steiner, well, now that he's left, I think he was also quite bad. The management, how he treated his drivers, how he treated junior drivers, how he treated rookies, I don't think that was the greatest of approach by basically shouting at them every second like you're in school and you don't submit your assignment in time, and then the teacher's yapping at you and you're like, shut the fuck up, and then they keep yapping at you. So in a small little nutshell, their issues were, to put it nicely and simply, everything. But all bad things always come to an end. It's like you burn your pizza in the oven, you can't burn it anymore, it's already burned. The burning's gonna come to an end eventually. Whether it be your house sets on fire and then it can't be on fire anymore because it's not there. It's gonna end, the badness is gonna end. And eventually for Haas, I think it's actually starting to end. The problems are being tackled like Harry Maguire in defense. It might be a tad harsh the way they're doing it, but it's what has to be done for the team. It's like, say you're in the trenches in the World War, and then there's a guy in the trench, in your trench, who is shooting everyone in that trench. Oh, that's not good, that's an issue. A rational way to deal with that would be to, well, lock him up and put him in a cage. But sometimes the rational things aren't the greatest thing to be done. Easier way is just to put a bullet through his head, right? After whatever that was, I think it's time we swiftly move on. Last year, and especially this year, Haas have basically made zero strategic errors. Everything's been pretty solid, pitting when they're meant to be pitting, and the tyres are actually there. The tyres actually go on the car like they're meant to, unlike the sour pit stops, which take like a century and a half to complete.
One eternity later.
The sour pit stops, they take longer than a bike journey across Route 66. And, well, fair play to Haas, because they've been pretty good. And their strategies, they've been better than a Ferrari. It's actually been alright. With the departure of Gunther Steiner, Eya Komatsu joined, and that's also another issue that has been tackled. And under his reign of terror, should we say, it's been good. Haas have scored a lot more points than in the last couple seasons, and ooh, wait, could they actually be challenging for a top 5 finish in the Constructors if things start or keep on going how they are currently? Well, it's Haas. You never know what could happen. One day they could be winning or near winning, and the next day they could be in the wall, especially with Kevin Magnussen. But the issues are being tackled. That's a positive step in the right direction. With more positive steps in the right direction, surely we'll be able to see on the podiums or wins and championships Haas, the 2026 world champion. Whoa, no. But there's only one little smidging thing left that has to be fixed with the Haas team. Well, no, there's two. One of them obviously being the car, but let's be real, that isn't going to be fixed this year, probably not next year. And 2026 is the next time where potentially the car might actually... It's a dice roll. At the end of the day, it's a dice roll. Will they get it right for 2026? Or will they absolutely fail, like they've done for pretty much every single evolution of cars? But looking past that, the only thing left to really fix in that team are the drivers. And that's also being tackled. Haas, in the entire history of their team, have literally only ever had one good driver, and that is Nico Hülkenberg. And he has gone back to green, back to Hulk, back from being the real human to back to green. You know, Aston Martin, green, then he went to white, and then he's going back to green, and that's... What the fuck? Well, anyway, the main focus of my ramble and the main focus oh wait, Haas, they aren't that back marker team anymore that you just expect to be last every single season. I think they're actually making positive steps forward for maybe potentially the first time in the entire history of the team. They've tried to make positive steps forward with signing some energy deals or energy drink deals or Russian oil thing, but that has never really succeeded. Being realistic, Haas's goals aren't winning or championships or podiums. It's basically just not being your back marker team. Every single year, every single race, getting lapped and lapped and lapped. No points scored, that's not what Haas wants to be. They want to be in the points every single race. They want to be in the mix every single race. They want to be not battling thin air or defending against blue flags. They want to be battling actual cars for the points. And to do that, you obviously need good drivers, because if you just take a little peek at Red Bull, you have a fabulous car. The car is amazing, but without Max Verstappen, a good driver, the team would be nowhere, because Sergio Perez would either be in the wall, in the gravel, or not even getting into Q3, not making out of Q1, and finishing, well, probably around 8th, 12th, something like that. And the final crystal they do need on that little glove that Thanos had that snapped and exploded the world and Haas need to do and exploded the track so they can, well, show their amazing performance, they need one more good driver, because Hülkenberg's leaving, and I don't think Magnussen is going to cut it, because most of the year he's been cutting the track and not actually staying on it. I don't think that lonesome of a pole position from 2022 will save him any longer. I think it's time to get rid, and I think it's time that somebody else steps up, somebody else good, because surely you need another good driver alongside Ollie Bearman. Not a rookie, preferably an actual experienced driver. If shit actually hits the fan with Ollie Bearman, well, the experienced driver can still hook up some points. Now, it's all fun and games saying that Haas needs 2 new good drivers. One of them is currently a rookie because, well, he signed a multi-year contract. Haas have faith in him. But in the past, when Haas have signed rookies, how has that gone? Haas, they had faith in the F2 world champion, Mick Schumacher. They had faith in, oh, maybe not as much as they had faith in Mick Schumacher, but they also had faith in Nikita Mazepin. And how did the 2021 season go? Oh, trust me, it was as emotionally damaging on the inside in the brain as it was for the cars on the outside. Each race, well, at least one of the cars was basically in half, just like Romain Grosjean's car was in 2020. Under the terror of Gunther Steiner, Haas and rookies, they didn't go well together. That was like poisonous liquids and humans. Doesn't go well together, you're gonna die. That's like chainsaws to your neck. And humans, you're gonna die. It wasn't good. Gunther Steiner and rookies, it wasn't a good mixture of things. Nico Hülkenberg and Kevin Magnussen, much better. Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen, much better. Well, he can actually let out his emotions on those two without it getting to their head, because they probably thought, well, you're old, don't care. But the rookies might have been a tiny bit frightened by his demeanor.
Does not fox smash my door. Tell him that.
And honestly, if Gunther Steiner was still the team principal, I'd be a bit skeptical. Ollie Bearman, is that a good move? We've seen rookies, they weren't ever good in Haas. So, I'm not sure. But Eio Komatsu, I think he's a totally different beast. I think he's a good human, good in his heart. And I think Ollie Bearman will do just fine under his reign of terror. Or reign of glory. Plus, the main point is, I think that Bearman is a bit different to Nikita Mazepin, Mick Schumacher. Although Mick Schumacher was an F2 champion, and Bearman is currently like, what, 16th, 17th in the F2 standings. I mean, he's won a race at least, right? But Mick Schumacher, being a Formula 1 driver, he never cooked in his entire career. Ollie Bearman, he's a Formula 2 driver, and he's already cooked in a Formula 1 car. So that, I think, speaks levels, putting Yuki Tsunoda into a spliff and just absolutely ruining everyone on that track that was, well, below P7. Haas have a different sort of faith in him than they did in Mick Schumacher or Nikita Mazepin or any other driver, because he signed a multi-year contract. A rookie signing a multi-year contract. The last time we heard that was Oscar Piastri. And McLaren had to dump like 20-odd million into saying bye-bye to Daniel Ricciardo. Agreed, Daniel Ricciardo was treacherous and he had to be replaced. But, well, Bearman, we'll see. 17th, 18th, 16th in the standings in F2? Apart from 2018, which might have been a slightly fluky season, Haas have never actually managed to break into the midfield. You can say that the team's 5th to 10th, that's the midfield, but let's be real, Haas have never, it's just been the lower part of the field, that's where Haas have been. And I think these are the correct steps forward to Haas, or for Haas, to actually move up the field. I'm saying that with a slight bit of, ooh, that doesn't sound right, because Haas, well, they're Haas at the end of the day. Anyway, all of these slight good steps forward, I think Haas are slowly starting to cook up. And that's good, right? We already know that Netflix, Drive to Survive, they're licking their lips at this because, well, they want to see Haas cook up. Haas are like the main show of that team. Gunther Steiner has left. Daniel Ricciardo, he's been dropped. Haas, that's pretty much all there is to that show. Gotta back Bearman, say that he's going to do all right. Gotta back Haas that they're cooking up. And I gotta back whoever's going to get that second seat for being good. Otherwise, they're just going to be bad again. And I don't think that's the goal or aim of Haas. But who knows? Next year, we're going to be seeing them on podiums. Next year, we're going to see them winning races. And as I said, 2026, they're winning that championship. Anyway, let me know down in the comments, do you think that Ollie Bearman is going to cook, or whether it's going to be another fake and fraudulent season like they had in 2021? Let me know, and whilst you're there, like and subscribe, otherwise you're a fake and a fraud and you're not real. Have a safe and fantastic rest of your day, don't die, otherwise you can't watch other videos. and push.
That's all, folks.